Tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Thanks for coming on. Cool. And there's Gila. Hello. Hi. Okay, but fruit, you said was not meant for man.
That's a really good question. Okay.
Is that true?
Is that true? Interesting. Alright, I get attacked on the internet all the time by the fruitarian community. And there's certain writers of certain fruits that like to say terrible things about me. And so, I'm a little sensitive around the fruitarian issue because I started my raw food journey years ago as a fruitarian. So I have a lot of experience eating fruit. And
really, Daniel, okay, maybe we'll play back what you ate as a raw vegan.
As somebody who was a raw vegan for many years, my calorie sources were basically coconut oil, olive oil, and kale. That was basically what I was eating, and with some tertiary foods, but that was the main stuff.
I don't blame you, man. On a diet like that, you're not going to feel too good.
I assumed that the fruits that I was eating were natural foods. I wasn't saying that fruits, and I don't say anything like fruits are natural for man. What I'm saying is that the fruits people are eating today are as hybridized from their wild state as...
Ask any botanist and they'll tell you that all fruits are hybrid, all plants are hybrid. 99% of the fruits out there do have seeds and they can replicate themselves. Bananas, they don't need seeds to replicate. They can grow on their own, with or without seeds. So the notion that you can eat unhybridized fruit is impossible, because all fruits are hybrid, all plants are hybrid, all vegetables are hybrid. Ask any botanist.
Chihuahuas are from wolves. Understand a Chihuahua is a wolf.
A Chihuahua's a wolf. Okay.
Shares the genome of all dogs which come from wolves. It's Canis lupus familiaris is its species.
I make fun of Daniel. He's a great guy, but he does. I like his languaging. He's very good. His Latin names.
In the same way, bananas today are like the Chihuahua of fruits. Bananas today contain
Bananas, the Chihuahua of fruits.
Seeds. They're sterile mutants. In fact, the modern banana was invented in the 1800s, previous to the yellow.
Which is false, because if you go to Thailand, all the bananas they're eating over there, some of them still got seeds in there. So the notion that yellow bananas were invented in a lab, laboratories only started recently. So, it's... Anyway.
Yellow banana was the red and green banana. They were cooking bananas that weren't eaten.
And if you don't cook your banana, it goes ripe. If you let your banana go ripe, you can eat it. You don't have to cook it.
Raw. And previous to that was the wild banana that is riddled with seeds and barely edible.
Certain varieties of bananas riddled with seeds. We've got to remember that there's not just one type of banana, there's not just one type of papaya, there's literally thousands of different varieties. So just to base it on one variety, it's limited thinking.
That could grow in nature, but it was much more like a berry. Apples started off...
Again, we've got different varieties of apples, Daniel, not just one.
Over in Eastern Europe, and they began as like a smaller berry kind of fruit, and the apples we eat today are clones. I don't know about you.
The only clones I can see in this video are of certain wolves.
Guys, I feel weird about eating cloned food. Do you know that bananas today are all clones, and if it's not a clone, it's grown from a tissue culture in a lab? Which
again is BS, because where are these labs before 1900s, you know what I mean?
You can't go buy a yellow banana today that was grown from seed because they have no seed.
Yes, you can. I was in Thailand last year. I've been actually going to Thailand every year for the last 5 years. And you can get bananas over there that are yellow, that are sugary, and they have seeds in them, and they'll grow from seed, or they'll grow from the little sucker.
They're unnatural foods. And if you really are what you eat, if you eat sterile hybrids, then, well... So
what Daniel's implying is if you eat bananas, you'll become sterile because the banana doesn't have seed. Which was, if that was true, then Doug Graham, he's eaten more bananas than anybody on the planet in the last 30 years. So technically, he should be sterile, but he's got a kid. Doesn't make sense, does it?
The idea is not that fruits are natural for man, it's that when we think think of fruits, we're thinking of that.
No, what you think of fruits, Daniel, your opinion versus the opinions of botanists, nutritionists, bonobos, chimpanzees, Mother Nature.
Apples and oranges and pears and all of these things that human beings have been breeding and breeding and breeding for so many generations now that they scarcely resemble often the fruits that they come from. I eat fruits all the time. In fact, just before I came here to the Longevity Now conference, I was at home in Maine.
Longevity Now conference, and they're giving fruit crap. God knows what they're selling there.
It was the peak of the...
Another question, how come all these longevity experts are under age 35? Anyone ever wanted that?
Autumn berry season, the autumn olive, which is an amazing berry that's abundant on the trees there, and I harvested pounds and pounds of that. I'm going to eat that. That's a wild food. What I know about real fruits is that they're smaller than we think, they're less sugary than we think, they have far more seed material, because the real reason a tree produces a fruit is to propagate itself.
Again, Daniel, it's your opinion, but if you go into the Amazon, you look up the fruits called the uxie and amari, both very high calorie, high sugar fruits. A typical hybrid watermelon has about 6 grams of sugar per 100 grams of edible portion, and an uxie or amari have 27 and 30 grams respectively of carbohydrates per edible portion per 100 grams. So 6 grams versus 30 grams, and you're saying that in nature, fruits weren't that sweet, but the uxie and amari have never been cultivated. These are native to the Amazon. So again, it's, let's judge by results, not by theory. Sweet fruits do exist in nature. In Australia, we have the bush raisin and the bush sultana, which has almost as much carbohydrate content as dates, when it's in its dried form. Again, hasn't been cultivated, thousands and thousands of years old. So the notion that sweet fruits didn't occur in nature, and they didn't occur, they didn't occur in bountiful proportions is, again, judging by theory versus results.
Feeding us is secondary. Fruits are for man, but supermarket fruits are freaky mutations. And
again, if you put someone with cancer or heart disease, you put them on a fruit-based diet, their symptoms are going to improve or perhaps be cured in certain instances. And these are all supermarket fruits. So you put someone on, how many cardiologists are out there who are saying, eat meat to unblock your arteries? They're all prescribing a high carbohydrate, low fat, vegan or raw vegan diet. There's no one out there saying eat more fat to clear your arteries up.
Makes sense to eat a diet of completely sterile hybrid foods and then go around telling everybody that's the most natural.
Does it make sense to eat roadkill for breakfast, lunch and dinner? Does it make sense to cut down more forests so we can have grass-fed animals, so we can still get saturated fat, cholesterol, uric acid, adrenaline, bad karma, bacterial infections, parasitic infestations, and we can just eat fruit or plant foods? Does it make sense? It makes sense, but it doesn't make a lot of dollars. How many clinical studies show that low carbohydrate, high fat diets that people like Daniel are promoting reverse diabetes? This is a good book to read. People say you don't get enough protein if you don't eat whatever, if you don't eat dog food. And another thing Daniel says is that if you're a vegan, you get B12 deficiency, but in this book they say 39% of the United, in this book they say 39% of Americans have got a B12 deficiency. So it's like, 39% of Americans vegan, or what? Great book to read. Clinical studies again. Clinical studies, not some multi-level marketing hoo-ha, fear-mongering campaign. And before people say I'm an aggressive vegan, world peace, man, that's what we want. World peace diet. So I speak up, I've seen people die, become obese, drug addicted, chronically fatigued from following these high-fat, low-carb diets that are based on, eating whatever and consuming magic mushrooms. I'm against it. Let's continue.
That's just crazy. It's actually really unnatural. So I believe fruits are fantastic, but I like to focus on things like wild blueberry and autumn berry and the fruits that are the most natural. If I'm going to eat hybrid fruits, I try to eat fruits with seeds. That could actually propagate themselves. Human beings are becoming sterile really quickly. We are weak.
Yeah, we get attacked in the fruitarian community also, pretty big time.
Relax, Matt. It's just a debate, mate.
And we were hanging out in Ecuador. We went on a big hike, and we hit a banana tree. We took a banana. These were like, it was just inundated with black, hard seeds. Yeah, it was like hard. They were like huge seeds. You know what I mean? Yeah, it wasn't sweet.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Right, Grace, is exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
Again, that was a variety of banana. Not all bananas are sweet. Not all bananas are starchy, bitter things either.
Okay.
So, yeah, and again, there's people out there who are bashing people about...
Hi, yes. Is this the colostrum seller? Can I place an order, please? What would I like? I would like the colostrum from Daniel Viralis' man boobs, please. Is this possible? Some Daniel Viralis man boob colostrum? I can hold. Thank you. I've been to some parts of the world where they eat little dogs like Geronimo because it's a local product. It's a local tradition. I mean, we eat cows in Australia, and because it's local, I've got to have a local product. I can't eat bananas from Ecuador, but I can eat cacao from Ecuador. Oh, gee, actually, I'm not a local boy then. You ever heard that? People say, I can't eat sweet fruit because it's not part of my bioregionalized eating program. But yes, I like cacao because it's from Ecuador, and the Mayans ate it, yes. Very sophisticated food, the cacao, yes. Or, yes, I have a lovely piece of game meat, venison, deer. I ate Bambi for dinner last night, and we went shooting Bambis in the forest local to our place, and yes. And then when I go to Asia, I eat dog, because dog is a local product in Asia, and I have Prince Charles Cavalier, like this little one here, and we have it in a stir fry, like a local product, yes. I can't eat sweet fruit because my naturopath, homeopath, psychopath said I cannot do that. You understand? You extreme elite raw vegan high sugar freak out, okay? Relax, be grounding, do some Bikram yoga, yeah. Fasting, juice cleansing, that's what you need to do. You eat too much sugar, too much energy. You need to eat more animals, yes. More animals, Geronimo.